Welcome to the resources part of the toolkit. If you've got the physical toolkit, then you'll have some of these actually physically produced for you. If you've got the online version, then obviously you can revisit this as many times as you want, and you can just replicate some of these tools as well to help you. Excuse me. The first one is just about thinking about how you're moving your customers, stroke clients, up your value chain. And when you're building your marketing and your prospect funnels, there's some great tools out there. We help you with that in some of the other workshops and stuff that we do. But do think about how you bring people initially into your funnels. At that point, they are suspects. They haven't really become prospects, customers, or high value customers, but they're in your, they've opted in to get something from you, or been asked to add, they've given you their business card, or they've asked for you to send them your newsletter, or whatever it may be. At that point, they're suspects. You then have to nurture them and give them value to turn them into being prospects. Prospects still aren't really customers, but they may be starting to engage with you a little bit more. They're opening your emails, the videos that you send them, or whatever it is, but they maybe have bought your lead bait. They maybe have bought your tripwire product at this point, but they're becoming prospects. And again, you continue to nurture them, you continue to warm them up, you continue to add value and engage with them, at which point they become customers. Now that's great news, because they've obviously started to buy from you now, either one-off products, or they become a customer or a client. But what you then need to do is remember the 80-20 principle is still at play here, because out of every 100 that come into your suspect pot, maybe only 20 to 30 of them will become prospects. But as you nurture and warm them up, some of those will become customers or clients. And then within the customer pot, as you develop and nurture them more, about 20% of them will become high value customers. So obviously you have to pour a lot of suspects in, some of whom will become prospects, and some of those prospects will become customers, and some of those customers will then become high value customers. And what you need to do is obviously spend time on your prospects and your suspects, but also as people become customers, you need to nurture them and warm them up and engage with them to help them become high value customers, because these high value customers over time will develop and deliver 80% of your profit. And there'll be a lot of people in your customer pot who just buy from you irregularly, or actually low value items. But the more suspects you have, that then drives more prospects, that drives more customers, which will actually drive more higher value customers for you. So hopefully, although not necessarily part of the 90-day goal getting toolkit or modules for that, the reality is this value chain is in play in the majority of businesses who are doing the getting and keeping customers right well. What you can then do is, once you've started to understand more about your customers and your high value customers, and right back, if you remember in module 1, and we'll come back onto it in a moment, you understand more about the numbers, then you can start driving more activity and getting more value out of them. So the second tool that we're just going to remind ourselves about, and we've done this already, but is remembering about understanding our business forensics. So understanding what a customer's value is to us, what a customer profitability is to us, so value and profitability, and then also what their average life cycle is with us, because once we know those numbers, we can start understanding what a customer is worth to us. And importantly, by knowing our numbers, we know what we can afford to invest to get and keep customers. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you again as part of the resource kit is, obviously we did this exercise right at the very beginning of the goal getting 90-day program, but as you get better at developing your business, your numbers will change. So you should be looking at this every 6 to 12 months as a minimum, because then hopefully, as you're growing your business and growing and engaging better with your customers and driving more activity through your 90-day goal getting program, your value in your business will grow, and as such you'll then be able to spend even more keeping customers, and you'll be way ahead of anything your competitors can do. Another really nice model to think about and use is the customer upselling and reselling and cross-selling model. Now, what this does, and I've seen from a number of different business gurus, but it's a really simple process and it works really well. What you do, either you or somebody in your business, or even get somebody outsource it first to actually get this into a grid. What you actually do is you put your customers in this first column here. Now, let's say you've got hundreds of customers, then let's do it for your high value customers first, and then you can come back to it and revisit it. But it's a massive opportunity. If you undertake this process, you're probably going to find at least 30% extra value in your business that you don't currently know exists. So what you do is you list all your customers here. You then list products or services here. Now, if you've got lots of products and services, maybe just pick the ones that generate your 80% of your profit at first, using the 80-20 principle. But the reality is you list your product or service 1, your product or service 2, 3 and 4. What you then do is using little ticks and crosses or question marks or whatever symbols work well for you. You go through and you look at it and you say, okay, so customer B, does he or she take product or service 1? Yes, they do. Give it a tick. Actually, they take part of the product or service, so give them a little, another symbol there. Or they're aware of the product or service but don't take it, give it another module or another symbol, sorry. Or if they're not aware of the product or service, give it a different symbol altogether. And what you can see from here in our example is example customer. They're not aware of product or service 1. Well, that's a massive opportunity. We better tell them about it. They are aware of product or service 2 because they take it and they take the full range. They've got a big tick in that box. In terms of product or service 3, up here, they take part of the range but not all of it. So there's an opportunity there for them to do some more. We can do some more with them. So there's another upsell opportunity. And here on product or service 4, they're aware of it, but we haven't explained it well enough to them yet because they're not taking this product or service. So if you can go through this sort of grid for all of your key customers, if you've got a large customer base, or if you've only got a small customer base, for all of your customers, for all of the products and services that you offer, you will find you've got a lot more crosses, question marks, or whatever symbols you're using, a lot more of those, and you have full ticks. And what you can do is in all of those gaps, that's where you can engage better through a nurture program, an email sequence, an autoresponder sequence, whatever CRM or other system that you use, or a simple spreadsheet like this. And these are the people, the question marks, the red and orange crosses, or whatever symbols you use, they're the people you should be picking the phone up to and engaging better with, because as I mentioned earlier, there's at least 30% growth opportunity in your business just by turning some of those little orange or red crosses or question marks into green ticks. So that would be a great thing to build as one of your 90-day goal-getting objectives for the next cycle that you're working on. Because who doesn't want 30% growth in their business from their existing customer base? So good luck with that, and hopefully that will give you some major success for the future. And we're going to help you achieve greater success, or we can help you achieve greater success with some of our other products and services. So we'll come on to that next.